So a little while ago, I was obsessed with Sega Genesis games because the Sega Genesis Mini came out, and I asked people what games should have been included on the device, and I kept hearing Rocket Knight Adventures over and over and over again. Now, I'm familiar with the game, although I hadn't really played it, or at least maybe I played it for a little while, but I hadn't really dived into the Sega Genesis version of the game. It's terrific, but that's not what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about Rocket Knight, which came out in 2010. It was developed by Climax and published by Konami, and it's a sequel to the Rocket Knight Adventures that came out back in the day. It uses polygonal graphics. It's a 2.5D platformer, and it's terrific. It's really, really fun. You've got some pretty powerful mechanics right out of the get-go. Of course, you're a possum with a big sword and a very cool suit. But most importantly, you've got a kick-ass jetpack, and it allows you to bounce off of all kinds of walls, shoot up to platforms that might be hovering out of sight. It'll help you in boss attacks, and it'll help you, honestly, in some really cool flying missions, which evoke a lot of the classic Konami scrolling space shooters that they made back in the day. I was just really pleasantly surprised. It was great to kind of refresh my memory playing the original Rocket Knight Adventures, but Rocket Knight for the more recent machines, although it's already been almost 10 years since this game came out, was really damn solid. This is a character that I think stands pretty close to the mascot characters that we've seen, especially from Sega, like Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't know if Rocket Knight is quite up there with Mario, but he's certainly lovable, and he's certainly worth re-exploring. And Konami, if you are watching this, or anybody that works at Konami is watching this, bring us a new Rocket Knight game. The character is fantastic. This whole jetpack mechanic adds another layer to maneuvering past the obstacles of a level, but also dealing with all of the bad guys. When you've got a jetpack and a sword and you can fly forward, it just makes you feel really tough, and you're quite the badass. That may be a bit of a mark against this game because it doesn't feel very difficult, especially when you're just starting out playing the game. You feel like maybe a little overpowered, but it's so fun. That's the core. This is a very, very fun game. I found it in my Steam library, but you can also pick this up as part of the Xbox One backwards compatibility. There's an Xbox 360 version of this game. It came out on the PS3 and the Xbox 360. I don't know if it's in PlayStation now, but likely it will be if you can find it in the other stores. It's absolutely worth checking out, and hopefully you can find it for one of the platforms that you have. Rocket Knight from 2010 is a buried treasure.